The last 6 months were the worst 6 months of my life because I was working with these two guys, which, God bless them, they have so much potential. But I realized that it doesn't matter like how much potential a client has if they cannot overcome their problems. And I've been working with a lot of entrepreneurs over the last year or so, and I've also been running my own business for the last 6 years. And I realized that, some entrepreneurs are stuck because of systems, some are stuck because of fundamentals, but then others are stuck because of their mindset. And I'm not a big woo-woo guy, and I'm not a big fan of this spiritual work or mindset work and whatnot. I'm not the type to meditate or to do cold showers or to do any of that bullshit. For some people it might work, but not for me. But some people definitely have deeply rooted issues that prevent them from taking their business to the next level. So I'm a big believer in the saying that goes like this: your personal problems will become your business problems, right? Or your business problems are your personal problems. And that is 100% true. So these two guys in particular are, let's say, they're coaches, right? They're selling a high ticket coaching program. I don't want to give too many details because it's not nice, but essentially they have an amazing product. They are helping so many guys with whatever they are selling. So the problem is not in the actual delivery, but the problem is with their marketing. Now, whenever I work with a client, I'm trying to, first of all, fix their current problems rather than installing new strategies. Because most of the time people have one strategy that works, but we just need to figure out how to make it better or how to increase the volume regarding that strategy in particular. But these guys had no strategy when it came down to content marketing, right? They were using a paid strategy, but that was also flimsy. They were fighting with their leads and whatnot. I don't even want to get into that. But I was working for these guys maybe 5 to 10 times more than what I was doing for all my other clients, like quite literally. I was giving them example videos to shoot. I was doing 2 calls a week with them, even though I usually do 1 call with my clients where we just go over, like what happened in the last 7 days and what should we do in the next 7 days. Like very brief calls, if that makes sense. But with these guys, every single time I had to motivate them. Like, why you didn't record any videos over the last 7 days? Why you didn't change this? Why you didn't do this? Why you didn't do that? Why you didn't do this? And it was so frustrating because, first of all, I was feeling like shit because I feel like whenever someone pays me, I need to deliver results, right? Because I take, for example, your business personal. So when I see that you don't get results, I assume that my service is bad. But it took me 4 months or so to realize that these guys don't want to be helped. I mean, one of them wanted, but the face of the brand was this guy who had deep trauma issues. And I managed to diagnose where the deep traumatic issues came from, and I explained it to them. But the guy didn't want to do anything about it. Or, I mean, he wanted, but the resistance was so powerful that he couldn't break the chains. He couldn't break the chains. And I was feeling so bad for him. I was feeling pity. In a way, I was angry, like I wanted to like swear at him. I wanted to fucking hit him in the head if I had the chance, if he was next to me. I was feeling angry, right? But then I realized, like, damn, he just doesn't want to get helped. He just likes the way he is, because otherwise he would change, He's been living under this trauma for a year and a half because there was an event outside of his control. And he took whatever happened regarding that event And since then, he became extremely negative. And what's really interesting is that these guys were calling their leads insects. You know, they were making fun of their leads. Now, I don't really like that, okay? Because if these insects would not be insects, let's say, they would not need them, right? So essentially, they would need them to be insects in order for them to become buyers, right? It makes sense. But the disrespect towards the leads was incredible. It was like they were hating their leads. And I get it. I get it. Like if you deal with unqualified leads, scared leads, I understand how that frustration can occur. But the most insane part is that by the end of it, they were the insects for me. And I had to, I'm just putting it into these words so you understand. I still respect them. I'm just disappointed with them. Okay? Whatever you put in is what you get out. And it's so true, even though, as I said, I don't really believe in this spiritual shit. With these guys, it was clear. Like, they had really deep trauma. And because they had this deep trauma, this disrespect towards the least, fear, they were operating like that. They were never taking action. They were never shooting the videos, or if they were shooting videos, they weren't done properly. I was telling them to push more volume, more content. Like, in my opinion, you should push 3 reels a day. And you should do that with minimum editing. Like, and it's not that difficult to push 3 reels a day, let's be honest. But the guy couldn't even do 1. And when they were done, they were so lame, so pathetic. And I just kept telling him like, hey, change this, change this, change this. At some point, I was feeling like he was taking personally because he was not even making the changes. And I was catching myself like making like a 5, 10, 15-minute video where I would explain like, okay, your Instagram profile looks whack, this looks whack, this looks whack. And I was shooting this 15-minute video. And then when I was about to send it, I was like, you know what, it's not even worth it. Or then I was recording a 5, 10-minute audio note. And then by the end of it, I was just canceling it and not sending it. It's really important to filter out what clients you are working with, because they can really destroy your sanity, okay? If you are a coach, if you're selling info products, like, you really need to be careful, especially if you're selling super high ticket like I am. You really need to be careful with every single person that you're bringing in, because at the end of the day, sure, money is good, but you need to understand that your sanity and the way you view yourself at the end of the day is the most important thing. Because I could have spent the same amount of energy on another client or like 10 other clients, and I would have went way further. But I just had hope. I just had, hope for these guys, because I knew them for a long time. I saw that they have an amazing product, and I saw the potential. But unless you do something about it, your potential is useless. And I can criticize myself as well. I haven't posted on YouTube as much. I haven't. And I always said, hey, you should post on YouTube once a day. That's what I used to do with my past YouTube channel. I was posting once a day for months and months on end. And I was growing. But because I was an insect, I didn't take action. I didn't post my content. And now I'm stuck at 180 subscribers or whatever. It's not much, but I got what I deserve. You know, I didn't post stuff on Instagram, and I didn't grow. I could have been way further than where I am right now, but I didn't take my own advice. And yeah, sometimes I'm actually grateful for working with these guys, even though we kind of ended up on bad terms. I literally exited the group. They didn't pay in like 2 months, and I kept helping them for free because I really believed in them. You know, I really believed that they will turn around. I I didn't push the payment, but I was like, you know what, you're not doing this, you're not even paying. That's it. I'm done. I'm very reactive when it comes to these types of things. I give my everything, but whenever I see that someone doesn't take my advice, or it twists my advice, or is half-assing the task that I'm giving them, I'm just losing my temper and I'm done. All the other clients that I have, they are like amazing. Like, we just meet once a week. We talk over WhatsApp if it's needed, of course. But everything is so clear. Okay, this week we are testing this headline. This week we are building this VSL. This week we are building this thing. This week you're hiring this person. We're running these ads. We're doing this. We're doing that. Blah, blah, blah. Everything is so smooth. And these guys are getting amazing results. One of my clients recently crossed 100,000 subscribers, not with my help. I'm gonna be honest with you. He knew whatever he was doing. I just helped him with his offer, systems, etc., etc. But he was there. He was hustling. Another one, he's growing on Instagram, and I don't need to tell him, hey bro, post. The guy does it. I'm just tweaking his posts. I'm giving him some angles, some ideas. He implements them. Things are working out. But without action, it doesn't matter what kind of potential you have. That thing is irrelevant. Your potential without action is wasted. It's as simple as that. That's why your personal problems become the business problems, or the business problems become your personal problems. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comments, if you ever dealt with this yourselves, or if you had clients that you dealt with in the past that had these issues.